The room is buzzing with the frenetic energy of countless phone calls. The chorus of ringing phones, clattering keyboards, and the fervent pitches of stockbrokers echoes like a symphony of chaos. A man stands in the center, orchestrating the pandemonium like a maestro directing an orchestra. His name is Jordan Belfort, and at this moment, he is the very embodiment of Wall Street's relentless ambition. Suddenly, the doors burst open with a force that seems to suck all the air out of the room, and a swarm of federal agents floods the office, their badges catching the light like flashes of lightning. Papers fly as if caught in a storm. Phones crash to the ground, their cords snapping like tendrils severed from a greater whole. The man in the center stands frozen, eyes wide with shock and betrayal. It's a moment suspended in time, a portrait of a man whose empire is crumbling around him. Who is this man, and how did his empire come crashing down around him? Meet Jordan Belfort, a charismatic and ambitious young man who became the infamous Wolf of Wall Street. On the surface, he was a successful stockbroker with a golden touch, a man who seemed capable of turning dust into gold with nothing more than his words. But beneath the veneer of opulence, he was orchestrating one of the most notorious financial frauds in history. From 1989 to 1996, Belfort's brokerage firm, Stratton Oakmont, swindled investors out of approximately $200 million. The world was shocked when the truth emerged, revealing a network of deceit that spanned years and cost investors millions. The allure of potential wealth had blinded many to the warning signs until it was too late, and the financial world watched in disbelief as the house of cards he had constructed came tumbling down. Belfort crafted an image of success that was irresistible. In the late 1980s, he established Stratton Oakmont, a brokerage firm in Long Island, New York, and attracted young, ambitious brokers with promises of unimaginable wealth. The firm became legendary, not for its ethics, but for its aggressive sales tactics and the culture of hedonistic excess that Belfort encouraged. With his magnetic personality and unyielding confidence, Belfort convinced investors to pour millions into fraudulent stock deals. He maintained an illusion of prosperity with lavish parties, yachts, and mansions, creating a world where the line between reality and fiction blurred. "Greed is good," Belfort would often say, echoing the mantra of the 80s corporate culture. It was a facade meticulously maintained, built on the foundation of manipulation and deceit, a house of cards just waiting for the wrong gust of wind. Born in Queens, New York in 1962, Jordan Belfort displayed entrepreneurial ambitions from an early age. His childhood was marked by a fascination with making money. As a teenager, he worked at a local deli, learning the art of salesmanship, and later he and a childhood friend ventured into business selling Italian ice from coolers to beachgoers. This early venture earned them $20,000, hinting at the ambition that would later drive him into the world of stockbroking. By the late 1980s, Belfort had entered the financial industry, initially working for L.F. Rothschild, where he learned the ropes of the stock market. However, the drive for more, for wealth and status, led him down a path where moral compromises became just another part of doing business. It was here, amidst the cutthroat world of Wall Street, that the seeds of Stratton Oakmont were sown, a firm that would become synonymous with financial deception and excess. As Stratton Oakmont's reputation grew, so did its fraudulent activities. Belfort and his associates engaged in a scheme known as pump and dump, manipulating stock prices to their advantage. They targeted small, fledgling companies, inflating their stock prices through aggressive and deceptive sales tactics. Once the prices were artificially high, Belfort and his team would sell off their shares, reaping enormous profits while the stock prices inevitably plummeted, leaving investors with worthless portfolios. Despite suspicions and investigations, Belfort managed to evade capture, using bribes and intimidation to silence those who stood in his way. A culture of secrecy and fear permeated the firm, ensuring that the truth remained hidden. Belfort's charisma and cunning allowed him to stay one step ahead of the authorities, turning Stratton Oakmont into a fortress of fraud that seemed impenetrable. Behind the glitzy parties and luxurious lifestyle were the countless victims who lost their savings. Many were ordinary people, lured by the promise of high returns on their investments. They trusted Belfort and his brokers, believing the promises of financial security and prosperity. Their stories are heart-wrenching, with retirements ruined and futures stolen. One victim, a retired schoolteacher from Ohio, recalls the moment she discovered the truth. "It felt like the floor had fallen out from under me," she said, tears welling in her eyes. Everything we had worked for, gone in the blink of an eye. The betrayal was profound, leaving emotional and financial scars that would take years to heal. These victims were not just numbers on a spreadsheet. They were real people with dreams and aspirations that were shattered by Belfort's greed. The first signs of trouble came when investigators started noticing irregularities in stock prices. A determined team from the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, led by an astute investigator named Greg Coleman, began to dig deeper into Stratton Oakmont's transactions. Rumors of misconduct reached the ears of financial journalist Susan Hairston, who, with a fearless tenacity, penned an exposé that further fueled the investigation. The article, published in 1996, detailed the questionable practices of Belfort's firm, making waves in the financial community. As the investigation deepened, more cracks appeared in the empire's seemingly invincible facade. The world watched as the empire's foundation began to crumble, a spectacle of greed and deception unraveling in the public eye. In 1999, the House of Cards finally fell. An extensive investigation led by the FBI, in collaboration with the SEC, culminated in a dramatic raid on Stratton Oakmont. Armed with search warrants and guided by the evidence meticulously gathered over years, agents poured into the firm, seizing documents and hard drives that contained the damning evidence of Belfort's massive fraud. The world was captivated by the downfall of the man who had seemed untouchable, a self-proclaimed titan of Wall Street. Courtrooms filled to the brim as the full extent of his deception came to light, with Belfort facing a litany of charges that would ultimately bring his empire crashing down around him. In 2003, after years of legal battles and negotiations, Belfort was convicted of fraud and money laundering. He cooperated with the authorities, providing information on others involved in exchange for a reduced sentence, a decision that many viewed as a betrayal of his former associates. The media frenzy was intense, as every detail of his lavish lifestyle and crimes was dissected in the press. The courtroom was filled with journalists, victims, and former colleagues, all eager to witness the final judgment. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison, ultimately serving 22 months in the Taft Correctional Institution in California. The trial was a spectacle, a modern-day morality play that laid bare the excesses and moral failings of an era. Following his release in 2006, Belfort sought to reinvent himself. He penned a memoir, The Wolf of Wall Street, which chronicled his rise and fall in vivid detail. The book was a bestseller, captivating readers with its tales of excess and greed. In 2013, it was adapted into a blockbuster film directed by Martin Scorsese, with Leonardo DiCaprio portraying Belfort. While some victims struggled to recover their losses, others moved on, sharing their stories in an attempt to warn others of the dangers of unchecked ambition. Belfort's tale remains a stark reminder of the consequences of greed, a cautionary tale for future generations. The case continues to resonate, serving as a reminder of the vulnerabilities inherent in systems built on trust. Today, Jordan Belfort is a motivational speaker and author, sharing his experiences as cautionary tales. He travels the world speaking to audiences about sales, persuasion, and the lessons learned from his tumultuous past. Yet he continues to face scrutiny, with some questioning the authenticity of his reformation. Critics argue that his speaking engagements and book sales capitalize on his criminal past, a legacy that he can never truly escape. While he has paid some restitution, the shadow of his past looms large, serving as a reminder of his notorious legacy. His life is a complex tapestry of redemption and remaining questions, a saga that continues to unfold. Jordan Belfort's story is a testament to the seductive nature of power and wealth. It highlights the vulnerabilities of systems built on trust and the devastating impact of betrayal. This tale warns us of the thin line between ambition and greed, a line that, once crossed, can lead to ruin. That was the dark verdict on Jordan Belfort. If this story kept you watching, hit like, subscribe to Dark Verdict, and ring the bell, because the next case is even darker. Join us as we continue to explore the depths of human ambition and folly. See you then.